I'm a product of my granddad's son. Hard-working hands and a job well done.
For at least 8 years, I'm trying to get good pictures of my kids. And after that time, I think I can tell you what are my opinions now regarding a good camera for photographing your family, your kids, your friends. Let me tell you how to choose such a camera in this video now. Hello there, my name is Tudor Matescu, and in this video I want to talk about the family camera, the memory machine camera that will help you get good pictures of your kids, wife, friends, and so on. So I want to talk about this camera and how to choose it, because it's really important if you love photography and if you are aware that a camera will bring you more joy than a phone. It's important to know how to choose right from the start a good camera for your family photograph. So I want to cover 7 key points on how to choose such a camera, and at the end of this video I will recommend you some specific cameras for family photography. So let's get into the subject, but before that, please subscribe now to my channel if you like content like this. So let me tell you the first key point. The first important aspect when you are thinking to choose a family camera, it is the Jpeg color, the Jpeg quality of that camera. For family photography, you don't want to stay and edit RAW files. I know that it's important to shoot JPEG plus RAW, but for family photography, you really don't want to shoot every time JPEG plus RAW. You can shoot JPEG plus RAW, but in the majority of time, the JPEGs will be the most important files for you and your family, because you want to share them quickly, you want to print them quickly, you want to select them quickly. You don't want to stay and to edit them. And even if at start you have some time, because maybe the kids are smaller and they are staying in their beds, over time when the kids will grow up, you don't have so much time of editing RAW files. So good JPEG straight from the camera, it's very important. If you don't have good JPEGs that you can say, okay, I like this look, I like these colors, I like these black and white profiles, then my advice is not to choose that camera, because you'll not have time to edit thousands and thousands of family pictures. So JPEG straight from the camera, it's an important step when you are choosing a family camera. The next extraordinary important key point, it is the AF. It is extremely important to have very fast AF to get the shots. You can go with older cameras, you can go with manual focusing cameras, but in the majority of times when the toddler will move from that point to that point very fast, it's extremely important to have a decent AF camera. So AF, it is extremely important in good light and in low light, because the majority of the pictures that you will make with your family and friends will be in low light, will be in indoor locations. So you need good AF for indoor location. So extremely important, look at a camera that has very good AF. The next key point that also it's very extremely important for family pictures, it is a camera that will help you get some shallow depth of field when you want this. Oftentimes kids are making a mess in the house, and even if it's fun to look at those pictures after years and years, you really don't want every time to see that mess. Maybe you want a portrait, maybe you want a subject separation. So it's important to have that subject separation indoor. So you will need a camera with a lens that will offer you a shallow depth of field. This means a lens at f2, f1.8, f1.4 if it is possible, because we are now getting to the next key point. It is recommended to have a small camera. You don't want to hassle with a big camera around your kids, around your family. It is cumbersome, and it's not just that. A bigger camera will make you detached from the moment, will make you not be in the moment. And for family pictures and for pictures that you want to make with your friends, it's important to have a small camera that will not put a wall between you and your friends and your kids and your wife and so on. So it's extremely important to have a small camera that will not disconnect you, that will not detach you from the moment, that will help you interact with the moment, with the family and with the friends. So a small camera, it is very important. And also it's important if you want to go out with the bikes or so on in vacations, you will need a small camera to carry with you, because you'll carry all kinds of other stuff, and this is why you need a small family photography camera. The next key point that's also it's very important, it's buy a camera, a small camera with good ISO performance. How I've said, the majority of the pictures will be made indoor where you have low light, so it's important to have a good performance ISO camera, because a good camera with high ISO will offer you clean images, and this is important for long-term use and for long-term keeping those JPEGs, and when you want to print them you don't want always the noise, and also the noise is something else and it's different from the grain of a film. So a good high ISO camera, it is recommended. The next key point is get a camera that has flash, or get an external small flash. You don't have, how I've said, always good light, and flash sometimes it is fun, you can do all kinds of abstract shots or freezing shots, so flash, I think it is needed for a family camera, it is really useful for a family photography camera. And another important aspect, but not such important as the other aspect as I've said, it is get a camera that it is weather sealed, that it is dust sealed. You want a camera that it is a little tougher, that can resist some shakes, that can resist some bumps. When you are interacting with your kids, family, small kids, or all kinds of situations, it is possible to bump that camera. So you want a camera that you are feeling confident that will not break easily. So an important aspect. Also weather sealing and dust sealing, it's important because you will not protect that camera very well when you are put it in your bag or when you are going to a vacation. So the build quality of the camera can be an important factor regarding the choosing of the camera. And now let's talk about the lenses. What lenses should you use for your family photography? I have 3 recommended lenses for family photography. These are the most important lenses for family photography. The first lens, and I'm talking in full frame equivalency, it is the 28mm field of view lens. On micro four thirds camera 14mm or 50mm, on APS-C camera 18mm, and on full frame of course 28mm. The next lens, it is the 35mm lens in terms of a full frame camera. 26mm on a Fujifilm camera, 70mm on a Olympus micro four thirds camera, Lumix camera, and of course 35mm on a full frame camera. This is the most important lens and field of view for family photography in my point of view. The 35mm is the sweetest spot, because with this lens you can do portraits, you can document your family activities and so on. So this is the sweetest spot. The 35mm lens, it is the sweetest spot for family photography, even if at times it is possible to feel that you will need a wider lens, but the 35, it is the sweetest spot in my point of view. And the next field of view that I really like, it is the 40mm lens. With this lens you can do documentary work with your family and friends, but also you can do some close-up portraits, some close-up environmental portraits, some close-up portraits where you feel the intimacy between you and your subject. So these are the most important focal lenses that I recommend. In terms of full frame equivalency, 28mm, 35mm, the sweetest field of view for family photography, and the 40mm that will help you get those intimate portraits with your family. Extraordinary field of views for family photography. I don't recommend the other lenses. Of course you can use longer focal lenses, but again I feel that for me family photography, it's about intimacy, so you must get close to your subject. And regarding zooms, let's say you have bigger kids that are going to all kinds of activities and you want to photograph them from the stage, my advice is get a super zoom like 12-100 from Olympus, or speaking in full frame terms, a 24-120 it will be sufficient in the majority of time, but of course you can go further with 20-100mm at the tele end. It really depends on those activities, but here I'm talking about everyday family photography, holidays and so on. And now let's get to my camera recommendation for family photography. So let's start with my favorite family camera, X100V. I will make a special video regarding this camera, why I think it is the best family photography in the world at this moment. But yes, I really think that Fujifilm X100V, it is the best camera for family photography because it's having the tilting screen, it is weather sealed, it's having the flash, it's having excellent Jpeg straight from the camera, it also have an extraordinary lens with an extraordinary digital zoom, so it's helping you to get those portraits, it's helping you to get those low light shots, and it's ticking all the boxes that I've said in this video. So this is, from my point of view, the best family camera out there. Extraordinary good AF for family photography and so on. It's easy to carry, it is light. I really recommend this camera for family photography, but we have other options and good options too. Also, please be sure to check my X100V reviews, link in the card. Another extraordinary option for family photography, it is the Olympus OMD M10 Mark IV with the 70mm f1.8 lens. This lens, it is amazing, and I'm really sorry, I've just discovered recently how good is this lens, because how I've said in a previous video, check that video, link in the card. I've had before the 25mm f1.8 from Olympus, and that lens, it disappointed me regarding the image quality at f1.8. But this lens, this small micro four thirds lens, it is on par, I can say, with this lens in some situations. So extraordinary lens on this small body with good ISO performance, with extraordinary natural JPEGs, extraordinary colors, with extraordinary IBIS, and also you have the advantage of changing lenses. So if you want to practice photography with one camera, one lens and one zoom, check link in the card regarding this philosophy, then this is a go-to lens for family photography. The pictures that you can do with Olympus for your family photography with this small lens are extraordinary, and they are on par with Fujifilm in my point of view. The lens is very sharp, it also has a flash, it has IBIS and so on. So if you know what you are doing, you will get extraordinary family pictures with this camera and also with other great lenses from Olympus. You have on Olympus the 20mm f1.4. Check my review, link in the card regarding that lens and why I love it. And for family, that lens, extraordinary. I'm showing pictures done with that lens. Extraordinary package for family photography, and in the future I will do a review between Olympus OMD M10 Mark IV versus X100V with the 35mm equivalent lenses, so please be sure to subscribe now to my channel to see that review. Another camera that I recommend for family photography if you want an analog experience, it is Fujifilm X Pro 3. You have the option to add the extraordinary Fujifilm lenses on this camera and you will get extraordinary, how I've said, pictures because of the Fujifilm JPEGs and Fujifilm recipes that are more versatile regarding color when I'm thinking about Olympus. So you'll have the 80mm f2 on this lens, the 28mm equivalent lens, extraordinary for family photography. You can add the 26mm f2 and you'll have a package that will offer you the quality of X100V. It is weather sealed, dust sealed, and it is very tough. I really like this camera a lot. And also you have the small 27mm f2.8 pancake from Olympus. This small pancake, check review in the card why I like this small pancake, and you'll have an amazing camera for family photography, but also for street photography and maybe for event photography if you are thinking to do some weddings or some events. Check link in the card what are my top 3 budget-friendly lenses for event photography with Fujifilm X Pro 3. Link in the card. And another great camera for family photography, it is Lumix GX9 with Olympus lenses, but that GX9 it is a little older. I feel that sensor from OMD M10 Mark IV it is a little better. So have that in mind. But if you'll get a good lens from Olympus or from Lumix, you'll get good pictures. Also look at Nikon Z, because I really like the JPEGs from Nikon. And regarding Sony, I'm really thinking about Sony A7C. I think it is the best small full frame camera out there that you can use for family photography. So I really like that camera for family photography. I don't have it, but I hope in the future to get it, because Sony is having beautiful small full frame lenses that can help you get good indoor shots and good indoor portraits. So a good camera for family photography. So you can choose any camera that you want, but please be sure that that camera will tick almost all the boxes that I've talked in this video. It's very important to have good JPEGs, good AF and all other good stuff. So if that camera is older and it doesn't have that good stuff, you feel some frustration when you are doing family photography. And it's important not to feel that frustration, because you'll spend the family budget on cameras, and it's possible to have some problems with the family budget, spend it on all kinds of cameras. In conclusion, the most important key point regarding family photography, I think it is a camera that has very good AF. So my advice is, don't choose a camera that doesn't have good AF. It will ruin your family photography. You don't have time to manual focusing your toddler, your kids, your wife, your friends. They don't want to stay to be photographed. They are moving and you must take shots. So a good camera with good AF will help you get the shots, will help you be in the moment and not ruin the moment. Stay there, say cheese and so on. No, you can document with a small camera with good AF your family life. So extremely important to have good AF. The next key point, I think it is good ISO and a good lens that will help you get those subject separation indoor and have some decent JPEGs with not lots of noise, and also a JPEG that is not heavily processed for noise reduction, a plasticky JPEG. Also I recommend XE4, XE2S, X100F and so on. So look at these cameras, be sure to check those key points when you are choosing your family photography camera, and please be sure to subscribe now to my channel, because I will post a video regarding why Fujifilm X100V may be the best family photography camera out there. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe how I've said now. Let me your comments and talk to you soon. Bye bye.